Much of the country swelters under the summer heat. A useful invention made its debut today.
I know, there was a live shot. 80 degrees already in New York on the Upper West Side. Yikes. 110 years ago, the first air conditioner blasted into action. Action, it's also pronounced. Terrell Brown looks back at this very important milestone. Good morning to you, Terrell.
Hey, Gail, good morning to you. You know, if you've ever just taken a walk outside and actually looked at the air conditioning unit that's out there, that thing can look like a clunker. Take a look, though, at what we found underneath an old printing press in Brooklyn, New York.
In this building, this is the start of a revolution.
110 years ago today, this 5-story brick building in Brooklyn, New York, became the world's first air-conditioned building.
This is the first time the blueprint, which down here is dated July 17, 1902, has been back to the original site where Sackett and Wilhelms was doing the printing.
Historian Eric Schultz says engineer Willis Carrier struck upon the idea of a central air cooling system to help improve production at an on-site publishing company.
The paper was curling at the edges. It wasn't going into the feeder properly. Sometimes they had to shut down machines for a couple of days.
The Brooklyn building sat above a natural spring, and Carrier's system of blowing air over the cold water piped into the basement of the printing press became a basic building block of modern air conditioning. 20 years later, and for $100,000, Carrier brought his Weathermaker to the movies.
In 1925 in New York City, modern air conditioning is launched in the Rivoli Theater on Broadway, and it's a sensation.
From there, it was off to the races.
Here's a new idea in luxury. The new 1955 Rambler offers complete year-round air conditioning.
From skyscrapers in Manhattan to 4-family homes in suburbs like Levittown, Long Island, a whole new world of cool opened up.
It fits flush inside and doesn't interfere with the drapes.
Beginning in 1950, you start to see the spread of residential air conditioning in the suburbs.
In 1955, 1 in every 22 American homes had air conditioning. By 1960, that number had jumped to 1 in 5.
In 1970, the federal census, the New York Times calls it the air-conditioned census, because you can really see the movement of population in the United States.
The National Academy of Engineering named air conditioning among the top 10 inventions of the 20th century. But what happens when we can't keep our cool? This June, record-breaking temperatures contributed to the hottest 12-month period our nation has experienced since 1895. And with well over 100 million air-conditioned households tapping into the grid in the U.S. alone, experts warn that our addiction to cool and the short-term comfort it provides may not always be sustainable, as we saw in 2003, when the entire Northeast went dark.
People who considered it a luxury now consider it a necessity.
Perhaps it's just another excuse to try to stay cool the old-fashioned way. Nothing like a good old-fashioned cannonball to stay cool in this heat. You know, the thing I think about is when you look around in the studio with all these lights, could you imagine working in here without air conditioning?
No.
I mean, I would be a big puddle of makeup sitting in this chair.
That's a nice picture.
Yeah. You know.
No, listen, mine broke the other day, and you called to get it fixed. Apparently, the air conditioner repair guy is doing a great business, because the lady sort of laughed on the phone and just sort of said, wait in line.
Well, you know, one of the interesting things that historian said is just your point that you made there. You know, if you're in the office and email goes down to the internet, you can usually stay. Let the AC go down, and folks start clearing out of the office. It's a matter of necessity for productivity and comfortability.
I mean, it is one of those things like the car that changed a whole century.
Right, and for that very reason.
Yep, it deserved to be there among the top 10 inventions of the century.
Yeah, I believe so. The New York Stock Exchange, the first building air-conditioned just for the comfort of its workers. So yes.
We are grateful to Mr. Carrier. Thank you, Terrell.